So this is the recording session for Education 9 F64. This is Jesse, I'm Matt. Just going to try and simulate basically a short 15 to 20 minute counseling session on a topic of his choosing. Cool. So welcome on in. Hopefully you're relaxed in this kind of mock setting, but just to let you know, it's all confidential as far as you know. Obviously, unless something is brought to my attention which I think is going to harm you or harm others immediately, everything will be confidential, and we'll just try and get you working through your problems, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay. Like the thing that I wanted to talk about was I've been reading up a lot lately on what makes you happy as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it's saying that stuff like there's one that I saw yesterday on Twitter, and it said ship, and it said ship is meant to take you somewhere. So a relationship, a friendship, everything, they're supposed to take you places.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't, abandon ship.
Okay.
That kind of thing. And by the same guy, he's one of the guys that I follow on social media.
Mm-hmm.
But he was talking about how if you have friends that are negative,
mm-hmm.
and they don't believe in what you can do, get out of that friendship right away.
Okay.
But there's a lot of people at my school that are like that.
Okay.
And I don't know, like one of them's Mike.
Okay.
There's points where he's supportive or whatever,
mm-hmm.
but then there's points where all he does is just complain about the unrealistic goals that I have.
Okay.
So I just don't know what to do.
Okay.
Like my mom thinks that he's just unique kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. He's constantly negative.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you're just feeling rather upset with how people are, or how a couple of relationships are going at school.
Yeah.
Just to clarify your own thoughts, well, for myself, is when you say there's a lot of people at school, is that a lot of people at school are the ones who are kind of doubting you, or a lot of the people at school are the ones who are doing the jumping ship?
They're doubting me.
Okay. And specifically this Mike guy, is he down on you? Is he down on himself? Is it a constant thing, or is it getting in the way of one of your bigger goals right now?
What do you mean?
So is it something that's constantly there no matter what you do, or is it something that it's a specific topic that you keep bringing up to him and he seems to keep kind of giving you feedback on? Do you understand what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's not everything you do every day he's negative of. It's this one thing, maybe this one passion, or this one thing that you're trying to pursue, and he's locking down on that. So I just was trying to clarify which it may be.
It's my goals as far as fitness and body health.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't think that I'm able to do it.
Okay.
And he's supportive of, like, I'm starting out that clothing company, or trying to.
Okay.
He's supportive of that because he knows that I have that drive to do it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't think that I'm going to be able to get very far with anything in the fitness industry.
Okay.
And he's more down on me, but there's points where he's down on himself over nothing.
Okay.
And he kind of just relies on me for no apparent reason. But it's like if I do something wrong, or if I don't ask him what's wrong or something when he's having one of these down days,
mm-hmm.
he gets furious with me.
Okay.
And he tries to turn everybody against me.
Okay. So again, just to help me, can you give me maybe a specific example, or just how he would go about doing that? So maybe just a recent example that you have in your mind, or?
Well, I can do two. It's in the same day.
Okay.
So in tech design class 2 weeks ago,
mm-hmm.
I was talking to one of my friends in that class,
mm-hmm.
grade 12B, and we were just talking. And lately, I've been hanging out with him and whatnot.
Okay.
So I guess I don't know if Mike's feeling excluded or what, but he pretty much, like, he was just listening to his music excessively loud.
Mhm.
The entire class could hear it. And when the teacher told him to turn the music down,
Mhm.
he said he just doesn't want to listen to some people, and he looked right at me.
Okay.
So I don't know what that was about, but then later on that day, after I came home from the gym, he
Mhm.
texted me, and then I was having dinner, and I had
Mhm.
read one of his texts and not responded to it because I was having dinner.
Okay.
And it shows him that I read the text.
Okay.
But then he just goes, "Hey, I don't want to talk right now." So I'm thinking, okay, but then the next day at school, he called me out of class, like, because I was just talking to people in class.
Okay.
And he like grabs my shoulder and he like shakes me and he's like, "I need to talk to you now."
Okay.
So like, he was just mad at me just because I didn't ask him what was wrong.
Okay.
And it's not the first time. It's I can't even count on two hands
Okay.
what like how many times this has occurred.
Okay. So you're just feeling, are you feeling upset with Mike for doing this? Or are you feeling frustrated, or what kind of, like, I can see your frustrations coming out in terms of your relationship with him, but is this something that is he aware that he's doing it? Have you tried to confront him about how this makes you uncomfortable, or how it frustrates you as well, or has there been any discussion in terms of that side of it? Or?
Yeah. It's pretty much been going on for a year, but every time that I bring it up to him, he blames it on me, saying that I'm treating him like crap.
Okay.
When, like, for not asking him what's wrong and whatnot.
Okay.
And then I explained to him, because that I'm not asking what's wrong, because I've asked so many times before, he says the same thing, which is there's nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that I'm treating him like crap. Doesn't mean that, like, I'm not there to listen if he has a problem.
Okay.
But he gets so worked up about these things that he changes the story to
Mm-hmm.
his parents,
Okay.
to his friends, which are my friends too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he just keeps going and going and going until everybody thinks that he's in the right and I'm in the wrong.
Okay.
Like, his parents do not like me right now for something that happened 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So.
And you don't know what to do about the situation, or?
I personally would rather not hang out with him.
Okay.
Just like I said, the whole thing where
Mm-hmm.
if you cut somebody out of your life, it's
Mm-hmm.
not because you don't respect them, it's because you respect yourself too much to deal with what they're dishing out at you.
Okay.
That kind of thing. I thoroughly believe in that,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want it to be like, I don't want it to come across as selfish for the
Mm-hmm.
reason that I cut him out.
Okay.
I want to be able to progress in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And even next year, I want to be able to enjoy it. I want to be able to enjoy the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And if he keeps bringing this up, if he keeps acting as if I'm a really bad person to him for not asking him
Okay.
when he's having a down day,
Okay.
then I'd rather not.
So yeah, this all sounds very, very frustrating, very, I guess very, very difficult, especially me having a bit of a background relationship with you. I know that these ideas of maybe going and jumping, or jumping ship, that kind of thing, especially right now with, I don't know what Mike's plans are for next year. Is he coming back for another year, or is he going on to college?
He's going on to college.
Okay, so again, you're already you're already going to be kind of on divergent paths
Mm-hmm.
next year. So I mean, in terms of, if this started a year ago for him, is this something that was brought on by a change in you? Was this something that was brought on and changed by him, or is this just change? Is this just something that may be happening because he's going one way and you're going a different route? You're no longer in class all day, every day together. Is this the kind of thing that maybe it's just a change that's going to happen, and you have to maybe go and talk to him, and although he tries and apparently has tried to shut you down in the past, maybe it's time to have another one of those discussions and just try and say, look, you know, things are going to change, and I need to tell you. Again, I can't tell you what to do. But in terms of the jumping ship thing, it's just not that it's the easiest thing, but maybe it's just a change in the relationship. So you never know if he's holding you back, if he's frustrating you, that kind of stuff. But instead of just eliminating the relationship together, have you thought of just changing the relationship in a sense?
I told him that the past 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
The last time we talked about it was actually last Monday.
Okay.
And I said the exact same thing that I did the previous time, and it was just like, I need more room to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way that he's treating me and everything, the way that he's constantly depending on me and everything. Like, I can't do the things that I don't know, like when he asks to hang out or something,
mm-hmm.
and I say I can't, like I'm hanging out with somebody else or I'm going to the gym or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to the movies, just stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get mad because he feels as if I'm avoiding him.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told one of my friends, Erin,
mm-hmm.
I've told her about, I've just told her about the way that he acts, and
mm-hmm.
I've sent her screenshots of it because he tries and manipulates her against
mm-hmm.
me. So, like last week I sent her screenshots of everything
mm-hmm.
that he said after he said that. He told her that I hated him and
mm-hmm.
that I didn't want to be friends with him anymore.
Okay.
So I sent her the whole screenshot and whatnot. But it's just stuff like that, and she goes, he's treating you like you're his girlfriend,
mm-hmm.
and stuff like this, and it actually like feels as if, like, I don't want it to feel that way. It
mm-hmm.
feels as if we're actually in a relationship, and it just bugs me
mm-hmm.
a lot.
Okay.
So
is it just, so again, what I am hearing is that you have in your head a certain definition of what a relationship or what this specific one should be like. And I think in Mike's head, or Mike's idea of the relationship is something very different. Which again leads back to, do you cut off the relationship as you said at the beginning of the session, or do you change the relationship or try and basically discuss with him to come to some sort of understanding? Knowing that, again, similar to what these sessions are, this may not solve everything. Maybe 1 talk with Mike isn't going to be enough. Maybe 2 talks with Mike is not going to be enough. So going into that kind of mindset, you're going to have to come to your own conclusion about what you want to do with Mike as a friend. But there's multiple options you can take here, and I know right now, off the start, you said you're leaning more towards the just eliminating the relationship. Is that where you were? Okay.
that's where I am, but my mom wanted me to just to stay friends with him
mm-hmm.
and not screw anything up.
Okay.
But
her words, not yours?
Yeah, her words.
Okay.
Because she's friends with Mike's mom.
Okay.
So anything that I do,
mm-hmm.
like just from previous experience, I know that he will ramp up and exaggerate drastically to her
mm-hmm.
and to his mom,
mm-hmm.
who will eventually talk to my mom about it, and I don't want to screw up their friendship.
Okay.
So if she gets this whole feeling from Mike about
mm-hmm.
who I am as a person,
mm-hmm.
then she doesn't want to talk to my mom anymore.
Okay.
I feel as if that would be my fault.
Okay.
So it's like I'm trying to walk on eggshells.
Okay. So now what I'm hearing is there's a conflict in you in terms of what you want to do and what you feel you should do for another relationship. So it isn't just as easy as, is Mike a friend, yes or no. It's now, this is what I would like to do, but because of my parents, this is what they want me to do, and you're torn between basically 2 options right now.
Yeah.
Okay, this makes it a little bit easier to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that, it's just, how long have you been friends with Mike?
Grade 9.
Okay, so
It's around
4 years.
Yeah.
So 4 years. And you said he started changing, or the relationship started changing, say, about a year ago?
Yeah.
So, again, things happen and people change, but the best thing I can say is if you were friends for the first 3 years and more recently it's changed, it's ultimately up to you, really, about what you want to do with it. If you want to come back and talk about it another time, or if things change, or if there's another development maybe in the next week or so, definitely feel free to come back and we can have another chat about that. But ultimately, I'm just here to guide you to your own decision, really. From everything you've told me, it sounds like there are two decisions that you are waffling between. One is a path that you would like to take, the other is a path that others would like you to take. And maybe a little bit of yourself in both, I'm not sure. Maybe others are even conflicted about this, I'm not too sure. Maybe it isn't as cut and dry because I haven't talked to them. But again, those are just a couple of paths. They're not all of them, but they're the two off the top of my head that I can think of. So when you're thinking about this and when you're thinking about the friendship with Mike, just keep in mind when you're making that decision or whatever the case is that just keep them all separate in your head, or keep them all defined in your head and well defined in what you want to do with that pathway. Don't just go out and do something. Think about it, reflect on it, take a second, and then try and separate kind of why you would make a decision and go another path, and then maybe revisit your options again, or revisit your decision as it is right now. That would be my best advice, or my own personal opinion, which I guess I'm not supposed to technically give. But again, right now, a lot of things for you being a graduating grade 12, coming back for another year next year to study, and then Mike going away, things are going to change for you, and they're going to change for him anyway. So without too much conjecture, just the relationship will change in the next 2 months. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could wait and see, you could cut the relationship here, but ultimately it is going to change eventually. That's just what happens with time. So keep that in mind maybe when you're making your decision as well. Not that I want to influence you one way or the other, but this may be something that's happening on his end. Maybe he's feeling the crunch, maybe he's feeling like he's going off, and he's kind of panicked because you're a really good friend from the past 4 years, and he's nervous about going into next year. It could be a number of other things. It might have nothing to do with you, you never know. So just try and sort out with him first, try and get some kind of conversation going, and then see where that leads you. Be my suggestion. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but
I agree with what you're saying. So it's just the thought of waiting it out might help, just to see how he reacts to, it might just be school, I don't know, but just how he reacts to summer and more free time and whatnot. Like if he starts heavily relying on me this summer, or depending on me for everything, when it gets to that point, I'll definitely talk to him about just being done with it.
Okay.
But for right now, I guess waiting it out wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
And I can talk to my mom in the meantime.
Well, if it's not something you want to do, obviously, like this is your choice. Ultimately, these are your decisions that you were going to make, and I'm not here. I'm that third party. So whatever decision you make is your decision, and if it's the right one at the time, it's the right one at the time. Just something to keep in mind, something to think about. Okay? Do you have any other questions right now, or?
Not right now, no.
Okay, perfect. Well, if you do, any other time, I'm always going to be here. Maybe not specifically this fake office, but any other time, we're always open every day. You know where to find us.
Yeah.
All right?
Sounds good.
Excellent. Nice talking to you, Jesse.
You too.